Welcome to Garden Wise Adventures. My name is Malie, and today I'm going to take you on a little bit of an update tour of what I've been doing. I've been a little bit absent from shooting videos. Part of the reason is I did get sick, thought I had COVID, but it was not. But it's taken about a week for me to fully recover from whatever it was. And let me just show you something else. I'm going to take you inside and show you one of the main reasons why I've just been negligent with everything. So let me show you what I've been doing that's been keeping me busy. I, in my life, have been a dog person, but my kids convinced me to try kitties. So here we have little Blondie. Blondie is a little boy and will be my cat. So we've got two brothers that are in here. They should pop out here shortly. We've got Calcifer right there. Calcifer has a brother named Gigi. He'll pop out here in just a second. You can see the little tail there. We've got, like I said, Blondie, who has a sibling that's inside named, well, there's Laura Cloft. Laura is my daughter's cat. And little Gigi, let's see if we can get little Gigi to pop his head out. He's so fluffy and cute. Gigi will probably be my cat. There's little Gigi right there. Yeah, he's fluffy, he's cute, he's wild, and I think my son will be taking his brother Calcifer. They are just, okay, I have to say, I didn't think I would end up liking cats. I thought maybe they would be just a little bit of a companion, but I really am starting to like them. But they've kept me really busy. Yes, they are wild. Busy just watching them. Okay, so I spend a lot of time sitting and watching cats. Okay, now aren't they cute? Yeah, the little kitties are very cute. So we've been trying to get them acclimatized to our house and trying to get them acclimatized to each other. They came from two different batches. So, you know, the black kitties came from somebody, and then the other two kitties, the gray kitty and Blondie, were actually living in our front yard for a while. Turns out that the neighbor owned them, and, you know, couple of batches of kitties, and we acquired a couple. So anyway, let me show you what we've been doing in the yard so far. First thing I'm going to do is show you how negligent I've been. Right here we have all the vegetables that I've been growing in my house, and they are in desperate need of being transplanted. We have some cabbage, and we have some kohlrabi. We have some beets that definitely need to be transplanted. I don't know if they're even going to make it, because beets really don't transplant well. You know, if you grow them by seed in a pot and then transplant them, they've got to be done really young to be able to survive. And then we've got my kale. So let's show you the rest of the yard. We've been slowly making a little bit of progress here and there. We've got our jujube tree. Don't know if you can see, but we're starting to get a little bit of color change on them. So these are going to be ready to harvest in probably 2-3 weeks max. They're usually ready to harvest mid to end of October. Just kind of give you an overview of the yard from up here. We had a problem with watering along the edges of the lawn, but we took care of that by cutting back the vegetation in this corner. It still needs to be cut back a little bit more, but it looks like we've solved the problem. It was definitely a water issue. We do have a little bit of a brown spot right there, but you know, I'm not too worried about that. We did clean out this side yard pretty much. We've got some growth around the edges. I have not gotten the weed tarp down. Maybe I'll do that now that it's starting to get a little bit cooler and I'm feeling better. Now we've got the side yard right here. I talked last time about how I was going to be transforming the side yard into a food forest, and I talked about having an irrigation guy come out to look at everything. And it turns out it's going to be a huge deal to try and split the zones. We have a line of sprinklers that run along the back, you know, all along the back. And then the next line of sprinklers, the other zone, runs along the inside. So to be able to split it from this half to this half, you know, have one zone over here and the other zone on the side yard, so I can switch that over into a drip system, we're going to have to connect the zones. We're going to have to split this half off and then connect what's left over here. And because of that tree is like right where the irrigation box is. It's going to be a lot of digging and some trenching, and none of the irrigation specialists that I've talked to are going to be able to do it this fall. It's going to have to happen next spring. I might try and do a little bit of the digging, but the irrigation system's going to be turned off. Here in Utah, the cities turn off and on the secondary water irrigation systems, and that's going to be turned off on October 15th, which is only 2 weeks away, which really is not a lot of time. The next area we have over here is the garden. I haven't quite done any cutting back or cleanup yet. We've got a lot of new growth on my little plant that's going to go to the front yard. I've got to dig that out here shortly. I might end up waiting till spring. We'll see how that goes. The strawberries were going to come out, but they did a little bit of a rally and did actually produce more fruit for me that's been really good. But these are definitely coming out, and this garden bed is going to have its soil redone. We've got everything out and ready. I got this all out last week just before I got sick. It's literally like hours before I got sick. The first sign of me being sick was after bringing all of these up here to the garden bed. When I walked to the front yard, I was so out of breath I had to go sit down, which is not like me. So that was the first sign of being sick. So nothing has been done. We are getting some good-sized beets. Chard is being eaten a little bit, but the chard over here, the Ford Hook chard, is looking good, and the zinnias are glorious. So I'm going to be leaving this bed in a little bit longer. This bed has a ton of arugula getting ready to go to seed. It's just been putting on exponential growth. This bed is going to be taken out here hopefully today. We'll see if I can do a video and if I feel good enough to pull all of this out, and we're going to plant half of the kale and the kohlrabi and the cabbage in here, and we're going to do an experiment. We're going to talk to you a little bit later about what that experiment is. But I have cleaned out this garden area. It's what I had been planning on cleaning it out with. All the dill and lettuce is gone. The feather reed grass has been cleaned out. All the seed heads are gone. It makes them really pretty. And everything else has just been kind of winding down, so I'm getting ready to tear more out. We're going to tear this bed out also. This bed will probably be ready for garlic here any day now. Now is the time to plant garlic. So once I get this bed taken care of, we'll plant garlic. This bed in here, everything's coming out, and this is going to be part of our experiment. I had made this bed, I don't know if you can see through here. If you can see that little area there, I made this bed so that it can have 2 layers over the winter. I built it in the spring, so I've never done 2 layers before. So once I get the garden beds cleaned out and the new seedlings planted, we're going to build the second layer for this hoop house, and then we'll probably put the second hoop house down below there. And that second hoop house will be 1 layer. So I'm going to test and see this winter. If it's a normal winter with normal temperatures, then we'll see if we actually need 2 layers to a hoop house. Paprika's looking good too. We've dried a lot of that. The tomatoes have not been hand watered at all this week, so they are looking a little stressed. I just have not had the energy to come out and do what needs to be done in the yard. So the tomatoes, there's going to be a freeze here sometime soon. Generally, the second week in October is when we can expect everything to go bye-bye. So, yep, we're going to say goodbye to those tomatoes here shortly, but there's so many green ones. I'll probably pull a lot of them and see if I can get them to ripen in the house. My pistachio seedling is still alive. I had 2 of them. 1 did die. This one's doing well. And then we have yet another cat. And no, never fear, no, we did not go from 0 to 5 cats. This is a neighbor's cat. His name is Alien. But he likes to think he's ours and pretends like he lives here. Yes, that's Alien, and he's very cute. My daughter's in love with him. So let's show you the part that I've done first. two parts that I've done first. I have cleaned this area up quite a bit. We got rid of all of the saplings from my medlar. Hopefully this year we actually get a medlar harvest that ripens. Last year we had a deep freeze that happened in October and a huge windstorm. And I harvested them too early to avoid that. That happened probably the 20th of October, and these ripen in November. So hopefully I'll get a good harvest video and maybe we can make something out of them. Right here we have our alyssum that's been doing really well, and it looks really pretty with my mums. The mums are absolutely gorgeous right now. The purple ruffled basil's taken off and pretty, and we're actually starting to get some color change in our Glow Girl spireas. Everything's looking pretty good through here. Let's look at my new area. There's been a lot of growth. So there's a few shadows. Let's see if we can show you this. The butterfly bushes have gained in size. They're starting to wind down a bit. But look at the color on this Pugster blue. Isn't that gorgeous? Still blooming. Still getting a few blooms on my gorgeous hibiscus. And the surprise, and the thing that makes me so happy, is look at the wee ones lavender. They are blooming like it's midsummer. This is the beginning of October, and they are absolutely gorgeous. The rottlebrush is, I can't even say that. But anyway, this is switchgrass. My switchgrass is starting to change color a little bit, and the color has been a little more disappointing than I'd hoped for a better color. I really like the color of the, I think it's Cheyenne? I'm not sure, but anyway, it's changing color a little bit. They've gotten huge. The Glow Girl spirea on this side is not changing color yet. Now here's another disappointment. I'll probably just have to move this, but if you look really closely, there's a ton of white spots on here. This is my hypericum, or St. John's wort, and these water spots are not powdery mildew. They're hard water deposits. This gets the sprinkler water from the next door neighbor's lawn, and it gets hard water spots everywhere. It doesn't look great. This one over here did get a little burn, but it is looking better. So we'll see how these do. I think they're really pretty, and the jury's still out on them. It is getting new growth, but it's a little late in the year to be getting new growth on these. I have loved my chase tree. This is a Shoal Creek chase tree, and it's been blooming since July. It's just nonstop. It's been absolutely gorgeous, and it's probably quadrupled in size. We're finally getting fruit on our Cape gooseberry, and it's continuing to flower. I have eaten some, and I've done another video on these, and the flavor is okay. I think part of the problem is that it tastes a lot like papaya to me. I'm not a papaya person, so I haven't enjoyed the flavor as much, but it's starting to grow on me a little bit. Here we have a garden friend. This little guy, this little girl, is taking care of all of the problem bugs in my yard. So we do have to be careful when we go to harvest some of our plants, because we're starting to see spiders in them. But that's okay, and just watch where you put your hands. Hydrangeas come back. It completely lost all of its leaves, fried in the summer. This is a hydrangea paniculata, and I can't remember the name of the variety. I'll put it on the screen. But I started to water it every day by hand, and it came back. So we'll see how it does next year. The pistachio is starting to lean over, but I'm going to probably stake it and prune it next year, and I'm really excited about it. It's doing really, really well here. The aronia has a lot of fruit on it. I've tasted it. very astringent, very astringent. So I'm not going to do anything with the fruit, but I'm waiting for the fall color and want to see if it's all that people say it is. So I'm excited to see the fall color on that. I've got my, I think it's called the Black Tower elderberry. It's finally changing colors. You know, once the cool weather hit, it's changing back to black instead of green. A lot of new growth. It's going to have really narrow upright growth and it'll cover this fence. So I think that should be pretty. Now, the thing that excites me the most is look at my fig. I'm going to show you pictures of what it looked like just a few months ago. And this is what it looks like now. Absolutely gorgeous. And it is too late for them to ripen, but look, well, I hate these grasshoppers. Do you see that guy right there? Don't like him at all. But look what my fig tree is doing right now. We have got a ton of brand new figs on it. They're just everywhere. And it is, like I said, too late for them to ripen. It's on all the old growth. So just the branches that were on here before. Can you see all of these? Yeah, it's very exciting. The new growth does not have any figs on it, but I am going to, I've got just a couple of weeks to figure out a way to wrap these up so that I can preserve the older branches. The older branches, I think, are the more fruitful ones. Now, if I didn't wrap it up, from what I've heard, these will probably die to the ground and then grow from the base and be able to fruit from there. So either way, we'll probably get fruit again next year, but I would like to wrap it and preserve as much fruit as possible. The fruits that are on there right now, from what I know of growing figs in California, which is much more conducive than growing them in Utah, the fruits are not going to last over the winter. But I do want to preserve the older wood so that we can actually get more fruit. Honeyberry has not liked the full sun or the spot. We're going to see once I do my food forest on the other side, we'll probably transplant it and see if we can find a better spot for it. The lemony lace elderberry just keeps growing and growing, and I love the color on it. The chartreuse color is just so gorgeous. Okay, well, I've been editing this video that I just created and realized that the final scene did not record. So I'm just going to chalk that up to another effect of not feeling well and cat watching. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this garden tour video and my update. I hope you love my kitties because I do, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great night.